The earliest memory I have about me trying to make money is when we got back from Alaska. I was probably 8 years old. We brought back some rocks from the mining caves, the mining shafts that my dad has found and that I have found, probably a couple of bags of rocks. And when we were doing garage sales, I would set up my table and sell rocks to people. And it's kind of funny, but people were buying rocks because they knew that there might be gold in them. After selling all my rocks, I had no more rocks left. So I started buying and reselling bicycles and old lawnmowers. That was when I was 13. At 14, I started knocking on my neighbors' doors and asking them if they need their yards raked or their grass cut, because I had a lawnmower. And at 16, when I was 16, my younger brother was 14, and he actually started a window cleaning company, and he called it Shine and Sparkle Window Cleaning. After the summer was over, he decided he no longer wanted to do window cleaning, so I bought his business cards, I bought his tools, all of his tools, and a ladder, and I renamed the company to Royal Window Cleaning. That's how I became Eugene the Window Cleaner. And for the next 7 years, I think, in the summers, I would clean windows, I would knock on doors, I would advertise through Craigslist or in Google. And people would call me and I would go and clean their windows, both inside the interior and exterior. And I connected with a couple of construction companies and did window cleaning in the summer. And during the winter, I would just fix cars, flip cars, buy boats, fix them up, jet skis, and sell them in the summer. That's kind of how I was making a living until I was able to get into another business opportunity to reopen a locksmith shop that has been closed for some time. And the locksmith shop went even better, but it was also the most risk I've ever taken in my life. In fact, I lived on my savings for more than 9 months. I watched my savings, everything that I have saved over my entire life, go down to zero. And in 9 months, I didn't take a single dollar to my name from the locksmith company. 9 months I lived on my savings, and I knew that it might work or it might fail. That's the most risk I've ever taken in life. And right now I want to tell you that if you're not willing to take risk, you don't want the reward. If you take small risk, you're gonna get small gain. If you want a lot of gain in life, then you have to take risk that other people are not willing to take. And now I sold the locksmith company. That was also a risk, but I knew that it was time for me to get out. I sold the locksmith company and I bought myself a couple of years of my life. My plan for these couple of years is to find something that I'm gonna commit my complete life, my entire life, the rest of my life. I'm gonna commit to this new thing, because it's one thing to start a business. It's another thing to find your life's purpose, to know who you are, to know why you're here for, and to know that this is why Eugene Civi is walking on this earth. This is why he was born. This is why he's recording videos. This is why he's talking. This is why he can't sleep at night. This is why he wants to motivate, inspire, teach people, not just about business, but about mindset. I've had hard moments in my life when the only thing that helped me survive was reading good books about mindset, about thinking, reading books about other people being successful, reading my Bible, meditating and praying. And I know that's the only reason why I'm here today, why I'm walking in Hawaii, going to go get a haircut after hanging out with my daughter, after drinking coffee with my wife. I'm able to do this. I bought a couple of years of my life where I don't have to work, where I can just chill, relax, brainstorm my next move, because I know my journey right now is not about just launching another business or just making another video. My journey right now is about finding my purpose. And here's the thing. I used to ask this question, what is the meaning of life? Then I realized the meaning of life is the same for everybody.
Sure.
Everybody has the same meaning of life. It's to live, to have a good life, to eat good food, to stay healthy, to help people, to bring value. That's the meaning of life. But a better question is, what is the purpose? Or what is your purpose? Have you found your purpose? The thing about purpose is that it's personalized to you. You grew up in that family, you grew up in that city, you grew up with those experiences, you grew up learning those lessons, you grew up going through hard stuff in life. So what is your purpose? When you find your purpose in life, everything else becomes small.